Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be an eyeshadow palette review, my favorite kind of videos to film and watch, and I'm doing one after a really long time. Today's eyeshadow palette is going to be the new ABH and Jackie Aina collaboration eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this palette. I'll show you some looks, I'll show you swatches and just give you my feedback on this palette, give you my review. So without much further ado, let's quickly get started with today's video. Okay guys, let's get started with today's video. So today we are going to talk about the newer launch from ABH. This is the Jackie Aina eyeshadow palette. I was going to say newest, but they have recently launched another eyeshadow palette. It's called the Norvina Volume 1 eyeshadow palette. It's a bigger palette. So this is their standard 14 pan eyeshadow palette in collaboration with Jackie Aina. Now Jackie Aina is a top influencer. I'm pretty sure you guys know about her. I do follow her. I do watch some of her videos. I find her really funny, and I like her makeup looks. I like her style. I like she's really fun to watch. So I like watching her. So when I saw that she's coming out with an eyeshadow palette and her being a woman of color, I was really interested in this palette. So when this one launched on Sephora, you can say I almost immediately grabbed it. I don't know if my camera can catch all the the holographicness of this palette. Look at the packaging, it's so cool. So this is the outer packaging. This is how it looks. It's a welcome change from all the velvet packaging we were getting initially. I think from the Riviera palette they changed the packaging. These palettes don't come in the velvet packaging anymore, and I really like this packaging, and it's quite in tone with the colors of this palette. This is how the palette looks like. Let me give you a close-up. So it is sort of like the, I don't know, crocodile animal sort of a print over here, and the palette has that holographic vibe. It changes color and it's really cool. The outer box also has that same pattern, and it is also like very shiny and holographic. So love the packaging, and it's the same size as the other Anastasia palettes. So the other 14 pan eyeshadow palettes, and this one is also 14 pan eyeshadow palette. It's the same size as the previous ones. Okay, so let's look at the inside of this palette. This is how the palette looks like. I'm pretty sure you must have seen it online. I will give you a close-up here as well. To be very honest, I wasn't too thrilled when I saw the inside of the palette. The color scheme looks nice, but it doesn't look very cohesive when you look at it at the first glance. You really have to look at the colors, and when I looked at the colors and I saw the swatches, I think Swatches did it for me. The swatches were amazing. When you actually see the swatches and you study the colors, then you can see what kind of beautiful looks that you can get. So after I saw the swatches, I was convinced that I really want to get this palette, and especially since Jackie Aina is a woman of color, I knew she will have a little bit more deeper shades in this palette. All the other ABH palettes are nice, but they don't have that kind of depth in most of the palettes. There may be a matte black or a matte deep brown, but what this palette has is the deeper like smoky shimmery shades as well. So you have deeper purples, deeper red tones, deeper taupe. I will talk about all the shades in a while. And you have the matte shades, which are also really nice and deep. So this is going to work on a lot of skin tones. Obviously fair to medium skin tone will be able to use it, but even people like my skin tone and even a lot deeper than me will be able to use this palette with a lot of ease. So that's why I think this is a great palette. This will work on a variety of skin tones, and on every skin tone these colors are going to look very different. So the colors are really interesting. Okay, so this palette also has 14 shades, and out of the 14 shades, 6 of them are matte shades and 8 are metallic shades. And out of the 8 metallic shades, 2 are sort of duochrome color shifting shades, and 1 is sort of a glittery shade. So the texture and the shade range is quite nice. As I mentioned, in the palette there are 6 matte shades. So these 3 are mattes or pressed pigments, and 1, 2, 3, these 3 are mattes. Rest all of them are metallic or shimmer finish shadows. So let's look at the swatches now. By the way, this palette also has a brush which I don't know where it has gone. It's a standard Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, which I personally quite like. I know a lot of bloggers don't like those brushes, but I think the quality of the brush in the ABH palette is pretty nice. So I do personally use the brush, but currently I don't know where it is. And I did buy this from Sephora Singapore. It retails for 75 Singapore dollars here, like the rest of the other ABH palettes. So all the other ABH palettes are also $75, except the Elisa Edwards. That palette is $80. So this is 75. I used my 10% off coupon, so I did get a little bit of discount. I am very happy with, because ABH palettes can be very pricey. Let's go into the swatches now. As I mentioned, you have to really look at the colors individually in this palette to understand what kind of looks you really want to go for. So I will show you the swatches of each and every color, and then I'll just talk about the color a little bit more. So the first color in this palette is called Soleil, which is a more peachy gold, muted gold, peachy sort of a color. It's a very standard metallic shadow, and I think it's there in a lot of palettes. It's not a very unique color, but I think the quality of the shade is really nice. Next we have three matte shades: Supreme, Pinker and Big Wig. Supreme is a rosy pink matte, Pinker is a plummy pink matte, and Big Wig is a deep matte purple. All these three matte shadows have been specified as pressed pigments, so they are much more pigmented than any average matte shadow, and I've noticed that these three don't have as much fallout as some of the other ABH mattes which I have used before. So I think these three colors are just beautiful in this palette. Works great on my skin tone, even on skin tone deeper than mine. It will work great, especially this color, this plummy color. I am just in love with this color. It's a pinky plummy sort of a color, and this sort of colors are not there in a lot of palettes. You'll have a pink nowadays very easily. You can also get a purple nowadays very easily, and purple mattes are very difficult to make. By the way, the purple is amazing, very good purple, but that plummy pink, it's so beautiful. I have just been looking for that color all this while, and finally I have a matte plum color like that. So I'm super excited about that color. I have used this color in almost all of my looks I have created. Love the quality of all these three mattes, amazing. Next we have the shade Dwellers. That's how Jackie Aina says dollars. So this shade Dwellers is like a gold olive shade. It has a golden olive flip, and it looks really pretty. I have shades similar to this, but this one is a little bit more brighter. I have this sort of shades in single and also in Natasha Denona palettes, but the quality of this shade is also really pretty. It's a little bit chunky when you start applying it, but it smooths out very easily, and you can work with it very easily. I have also used this in my looks, and I will definitely, I don't think I have created a look for YouTube yet, but I will definitely create one. Next we have the shade Credit, which is a deep brown. It's defined as a plummy brown, and it has some plum undertones to it as well. It's a really soft, beautiful matte. It's very deep. It works great on my skin tone. Even if you're deeper than me, it will work great. Just love this brown, and I think this palette needs a staple brown like this. The next shade in the palette is called Lituation, and this is probably my favorite color in the palette. This is what I have on my eyes right now in the center of the lid, and this is a taupe. It's a plummy taupe shade which is deep enough for my skin tone. There are a lot of taupe shades. There are some taupe shades in the Colourpop palette and in some Tarte palettes, but those are not deep enough for my skin tone. I think for the first time I have found a shade which is deep and it looks smoky on my skin tone. I am just in love with this color. I have only one more shade which is quite similar to this. It's in Sydney Grace shadow. It's very similar to this one, but other than that I have so many eyeshadow palettes, but in none of the eyeshadow palettes I have such a deep taupe shade, and I love these kind of a deep taupey shade. I have been looking for a taupe shade like this, and finally this palette has it. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. I love these sort of cool tone taupe shade, and yeah, I love the eye look which I have created. This taupe shade will also go really well with the pinks and the purples. Today I have used a little bit of the pink, but I have mostly used brown, but that taupe shade, it will look beautiful with the pinks and the purples. Amazing. Next we have the shade Zam, which is a rose gold shade, but it has a lot of nice glittery effect to it. So it's not a flat out metallic shade, it has some chunks of glitter in it. It's super beautiful. It's so pretty. I will create a look with this. I haven't done that for YouTube yet. Next we have the shade Wiggles, which is in some controversy. It is in some controversy, this particular shade. Let's not get into the controversy. Let's just look at the shade name. It's a beautiful cranberry metallic red. I don't have a lot of red shades like this, so I'm very happy that I have this in ABH formula. I love ABH eyeshadows. So this is a beautiful red I have, and I look with this one, and I must have already uploaded it. If it's not uploaded, then it's coming soon. Next we have a beautiful violet purple, sort of a metallic deep purple violet. Shookington, that's the name of the shade. It's beautiful, no doubts about it. Very smooth, very pigmented, looks beautiful. I love purples. I just don't need to talk about this shade. Next we have Trust Issues, which is it looks white. Again, a very controversial shade name, which is this one, but let's not get into the controversy right now. So it's a very white looking shade, but it has a duochrome flip. It flips to a gold green sort of a duochrome. I haven't used this shade yet. I have used all the other shades, but I haven't just used this one yet. Okay, next we have the shade Edges, which is a deep brown, a peachy brown, and it's a very nice matte, a transition. Excellent quality. And with this one also I haven't faced that kind of fallout, so which is great. Next we have the shade Sponsored, again a controversial shade name. Jackie Aina has a lot of controversial shade names in this palette, and if you want to look up the controversy, you can look up Twitter. It's all around, but I just don't want to get into anything like that in this video. Sponsored is a beautiful shade. I have shades like this from some Sydney Grace shadows, and I think 1 or 2 Colourpop palettes also has this. It's like a duochrome green purple duochrome, green brown purple duochrome. This is very popular, these kind of shades nowadays, and I love it. I just love this kind of shades. I have done a tutorial with this shade as well, so that's coming. And the last shade in the palette is a matte brown. It's a matte, very light beigey matte brown. It's very staple to this palette, and it works beautifully with the other mattes as well, and along with the other 2 brown shades which are there in the palette. So this is also really nice, well thought out color. It's a caramel brown color, very beautiful. Overall, all the colors in this palette, they, believe it or not, they work beautifully together. They just work so well. I am in love with this palette. I just can't explain you enough how much I love this palette. It's a bomb palette. If you are thinking about getting this palette, I would say go for it, especially if you're close to my skin tone, deeper than me, even lighter than me, medium skin tone. This palette will work out great. The colors, they just blend so easily, and the color story is so beautiful. You can create so many different kind of looks. You can do neutral looks, and you can do smoky, grungy looks like this. And the palette also has a lot of variety in colors. You can get so many different looks out of this palette. The limit is endless. I have created a few looks. I will post the videos on them really soon. I think all the mattes, they just blend so beautifully. Anastasia Beverly Hills mattes, they are a little bit too powdery, especially the first few which they had released. The mattes were really powdery, so we always used to do the face makeup at the end, do the eye makeup first. But I think these mattes are different. The formulation is different. They are not as powdery. You don't get as much fallout and kick up with these mattes. So I have been doing my foundation first and doing the eye makeup, and it has been great. Some of the shimmers will have a little bit of fallout, especially this glittery one, the rose gold shade and the dweller shade. Both of them have a little bit of fallout, so you just need to be careful with that. Other than that, I think all the shades are beautiful. All of them perform well. Longevity is good, staying power is good. They blend effortlessly. I mean, the blending, you'll be amazed how well they blend together and how well all the colors go with each other. So I think you'll have just a lot of fun if you get this palette. So my review is that this palette is awesome, amazing. If you are in doubt, go to Sephora, swatch it yourself and check it out. I have done some looks, like today I have done this look, which is more of a smoky neutral look. I love these kind of looks. I will give you a close-up here, where you have some color in the crease, but you have some neutral taupes or neutral browns in the on the eyelid. I love these kind of looks, and I think these kind of looks are very wearable. I happily wear these kind of looks all the time. So yeah, I have done this tutorial, as in I have filmed this tutorial, so I will definitely post this, so look out for this tutorial on the channel. I have done 2 more looks. I think I have already uploaded by now those 2 looks. If I haven't, then those 2 looks are coming as well. So I have done 3 looks for YouTube, but I have many more looks to do with this palette, so I will definitely post more looks. I think with this palette I have already created 6 or 7 looks, and for YouTube I filmed 3 looks, but I can see so many more looks even now. So I'm having so much fun with this palette. I feel like I will not be buying another palette for a long time now. I don't know if that's possible, it's a tall claim, but let's see. For now, this is like I'm just loving it, and I will totally recommend it. So that's it guys, that's the review for this palette. Do look out for the tutorials which I will be posting. I really hope that this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, then do let me know in the comment section below. If you're watching me for the first time, I really hope you'll consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you again really soon in my next video. Bye.